In this short video, we're going to see how to use the black eye camera to study things like pests such as cats, or perhaps even endangered and rare animals using the night vision and the onboard analytics of the camera. Here I'm just going to select a sequence of photos that was taken over a night on a bush path. The total sequence was 11.6 hours and there was 123,000 images. The sequence here, we can just browse directly through it backwards and forwards using the scroll bar, bearing in mind that we haven't downloaded the sequence of images from the camera. We're actually browsing directly off the camera, just using a plain old web browser such as Google Chrome here. We can step backwards and forwards through the image sequence or even play it using the standard tools. However, the black eye camera calculates the difference between photos every time it takes a photo, and this image activity can be explored or looked at as a timeline. And if we just click on the analytics tool here, we can see in this particular sequence of 123,000 photos that there were specific points during the night where there was activity. And we can change the threshold to select which of those activities we want to look at just by moving the scroll bar up and down. And now we've got about 42 images from our original 123,000 to look at. We go back to the beginning and start playing those through. When we use the play button, it'll actually just play the ones that have been selected by their activity. So we can go through, and as you can see, there's a bit of activity from insects, and then we've got, if we just click back a bit, some activity there. We can switch off the analytics and we can scroll backwards and forwards, and then we have a cat that's just walked through at 22:41 in the evening, 10:41 at night. If we switch those analytics back on again, we can just step forward again and we go to the next piece of activity just here. And if we take the analytics off and just step backwards and forwards through this particular sequence, we can see that there was another cat, and this was at 12:53 at night, or 7 minutes to 1 in the morning. Switch on the analytics, we'll see what this last bit of activity was. Scroll through, well, one click and we're there, and it's probably the first cat. If we scroll backwards, we can actually just look at all the images around that particular time and see what was happening there. The cat was just standing there for quite a while, then he stepped forward, and this was at 5:31 in the morning. So there we have it. In probably less than a minute, we analysed the sequence of 123,000 images. We didn't download anything from the camera, we just looked at it directly from the camera, and we found the activity that we're looking for. We can now do what we want to do with those sequences. We can download those partial sequences and record them, make notes, whatever we need to do, switch the camera on again, and we're ready to go for another recording session. All this is done via a browser. You could have just walked up to the camera and connected via Wi-Fi, either from a notebook PC, perhaps a tablet, or even a smartphone, and done exactly the same bit of work, all in less than a minute or two, to find out what had happened in those 123,000 images.